From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. The Canadian nonprofit Oxfam Quebec says it's surprised to find itself on a list of 37 organizations set to be barred from Gaza by Israel. The country is reportedly moving to suspend more than 24 humanitarian organizations as of January 1st for failing to comply with new vetting rules for international organizations working in the enclave. In a press release, Oxfam says it is pursuing discussions with Israeli authorities to ensure its essential humanitarian activities will continue. In a joint statement, Canada and other countries called on Israel yesterday to boost the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza. They also want assurances that international NGOs are able to operate in the region in a sustained and predictable way. Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister says global affairs officials are providing consular services to Canadians involved in a train crash near the Machu Picchu archaeological site in Peru. Anita Anand says 7 Canadians were injured in yesterday's crash and that Ottawa sends its sympathies to all those that are affected. The 2 trains were taking tourists to Machu Picchu when they came together, killing at least 1 person and injuring around 30 passengers. The Canada Revenue Agency is reporting that close to 1.4 million people have repaid approximately $3.3 billion in debts related to individual COVID-19 benefits. However, the agency says it's still owed just over $10 billion. CRA spokesperson Nina Ayusupova says the agency has disbursed $83.5 billion in COVID benefits to Canadians as of the end of November. She adds that $45.3 billion was for the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. Most of the world's eastern nations are already celebrating the new year. A light snow was seen with some somersaulting jet skis in Dubai, while in Japan, temple bells rang and some climbed mountains to see this year's first sunrise. Tonight, we're learning New Year's revelers in the U.S. will have to battle elements during their celebrations.
Marching bands, floats, and thousands of spectators are bracing for a rare dose of New Year's Day rain for the prestigious Rose Parade in Southern California. Meanwhile, in New York City, hats and gloves are necessary for what could be the coldest midnight ball drop in many years. Predictions of rain for the 137th Rose Parade in Pasadena, California have grown all week. It hasn't rained on the parade since 2006. Organizers so far only making small changes. The tops will be up on the convertibles, carrying Grand Marshal Magic Johnson and other VIPs. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
And the mayor of Alberta's largest city says his administration is committed to fixing a problematic pipe that broke for a second time in a year and a half, trapping 13 people and 8 vehicles overnight. Calgary Mayor Jeremy Farkas has committed to have crews eventually replace the entire 11-kilometer water main. Resident Ian Royer saw the river-like roadway after the pipe burst and says he believes there was a potential for death.
Just an intense situation. I'm surprised the cars didn't float into the river, honestly.
Emergency crews had to rescue the 13 people after the rupture sent sheets of water down the road northwest of downtown near the site of Canada Olympic Park. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, despite having a short pro career, BC's Macklin Celebrini has been named to Canada's Olympic men's hockey team for the Milan Cortina Games in February. The San Jose Sharks phenom joins the likes of Cale Makar, Braden Point, and Sam Reinhart. Canadian Olympic team GM Doug Armstrong says Celebrini is a talented young man.
He fit in very well socially with the top players in the game, and his product on the ice speaks for itself. So he worked his way on, and his resume is shorter, but is extremely filled out for his age.
The 19-year-old from North Vancouver was among 19 other players named to Canada's finalized 25-player men's hockey roster today ahead of the NHL's return to the games. And the unbeaten Canadians will be aiming to finish on top of Group B when it plays second-place Finland at the World Junior Hockey Championship tonight in Minneapolis. Canada has 2 regulation wins and an overtime victory for 8 points, while Finland has 2 regulation wins and an overtime loss for 7 points. From the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.